Namaste, my dear friends. Today I am going to narrate the story about the eldest of all the Paandavas from Mahabharata. His name is Yudhisthira. He is also called Dharma. Yudhisthira, the king who chose Dharma above all. So, relax, close your eyes, and start listening to this story. In the sacred land of Bharat, where rivers whisper prayers and mountains remember legends, there once lived a prince born not of desire but of duty. His name was Yudhisthira, the son of Kunti and the god of Dharma. From his childhood, he was so different, not the loudest, not the strongest, but the wisest. He spoke rarely, but when he did, even the kings listened. Truth was his first breath, and Dharma his eternal companion. He grew up with his brothers, mighty Bhima, skillful Arjuna, and the twins Nakula and Sahadeva. They all trained under their guru Dronacharya, who once said, Yudhishthira may not be the fiercest warrior, but his clarity of heart makes him the most powerful among you. He never lied, he never boasted. He was the only one whose chariot floated inches above the ground, a sign of his divine integrity. But peace is often tested by envy. Their cousins, the 100 Kauravas, led by Duryodhana, hated the Paandavas, and through a wicked game of dice, Yudhishthira lost everything: his kingdom, his brothers, even his wife Draupadi. Still, he did not curse the fate. He bowed his head and accepted his exile. 13 years of hardship in the forest. In those years, many asked him, Why do you not fight back? He answered calmly, Because Dharma does not bend with emotion. When the time is right, we will act, not out of revenge, but out of our responsibility. When the time came, after exile, Yudhishthira sent a word to Duryodhana, Give us 5 villages at least, and let us avoid the war. Duryodhana laughed. Not even a needle's tip of land will I yield. So the war was on. Kurukshetra became a battleground. That was inevitable. And on the morning of the great battle, Yudhishthira stepped down from his chariot and walked to the enemy camp, not to challenge, but to bow to his elders, to Bhishma, his grandsire, to Dronacharya, his guru, to Krupacharya, the family Purohita. He said, I ask for your blessings, not for victory, but for the strength to follow Dharma, even in the battle. His actions stunned all, for who bows to his enemies before a war? But Yudhishthira was never fighting for power. He was fighting for balance, for the Dharma, righteousness. And even amid the chaos of battle, he remained just. On one occasion, during the exile, there was a word came out in the forest that Duryodhana's life was in danger. Yudhishthira wanted Bhima and Arjuna to help Duryodhana. Then Bhima and Arjuna said, He is our enemy. He made our life like hell. Should we ignore him so that he will be killed? Then Yudhishthira turned to Bhima and Arjuna and said, We are 5. They are 100. But now, in the situation where enemy is there, we are 105. Vayam panchadhikam shatam. So, let it stop here. Let Duryodhana live. His brothers stared at him. to protect Duryodhana after all he had done, after Draupadi's humiliation, after the years of suffering. But Yudhisthira was unmoved. He is our brother too, he said. Let us not destroy the last drop. If dharma means anything, it must mean mercy, even for those who gave us none. Bhima lowered his mace, Arjuna turned his chariot, and Duryodhana was saved for the moment. Such was the heart of Yudhishthira. He was a warrior, yes, but one who understood that even victory must carry compassion. Yet, war tests even the noblest souls. So now, let's come back to the Kurukshetra. When Dronacharya became unstoppable in the battle, Krishna offered him a painful solution. His only weakness is his son Ashwathama. If he believes his son is dead, he will stop the war. So, an elephant named Ashwathama was slain. Bhima shouted, Ashwathama is dead. But Dronacharya looked to Yudhishthira. Only he would speak the truth. And Yudhishthira, with trembling heart, said, Ashwathama is dead. Then, with a lower voice, he said, the elephant. The Panchajanya and Devadatta roared. Listening to the first statement, Drona dropped his weapons. And for the first time, Yudhishthira's chariot touched the earth. His unbroken truth finally bent by duty. The war continued. For 18 days, heroes fell. Bhishma on his bed of arrows. Drona defeated. Karna, noble but with bad deeds, slain. Finally, Duryodhana lay injured. The war was over. And yet, Yudhishthira did not smile. He walked through the battlefield. So many fathers, so many sons, so many dreams shattered. He said, I have won a kingdom but lost a world. He refused the crown. He wished to go to the forest again to repent, to do tapasya. But Krishna guided him to Bhishma, who still lay alive, waiting for the right time to leave the world. Bhishma spoke, O son, your sorrow is noble, but do not mistake it for a failure. Dharma is never without pain. Ruling a kingdom justly now is your greatest penance or tapasya, and your greatest service to the people. Then came Vyasa Maharshi, who said, You are Ajata Shatru, a man without enemies, not because no one opposed you, but because you held no hatred. Rule Yudhishthira, the people need your light, the people need your good administration. And so, with humility, he accepted the crown. Thus began the Yudhishthira era, an age of justice, truth, and prosperity. He ruled not like a conqueror, but like a servant of his people. Farmers thrived, scholars were honored, no one went hungry, and in his court, truth sat beside law, and compassion stood beside the strength. In time, when his duties were done, and age had mellowed his form but not his spirit, Yudhishthira walked away from the throne. He climbed the Himalayas with his brothers, seeking moksha, Swarga. As one by one they fell, he kept walking, his mind still calm, his Atma unburdened. At Swarga's gate, he was tested once more. Asked to leave behind his faithful dog, he refused. If I must enter alone, I will not enter at all, for the loyalty is also dharma. The gates opened wide. He passed every test on the earth and beyond. And so, dear friends, in a world often lost in noise and speed, remember Yudhishthira, the king who chose truth even when it hurt, who forgave enemies even when they did not ask, who ruled the world not with fear but with wisdom. Tonight, as you drift into your dreams, carry with you a little of his stillness, his calm, his courage, his compassion. and may you walk your own path of dharma with grace. Good night. Shubharatri.